All right, guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you all know, my name is Legend, and in this video, I will be teaching you guys on how to identify if a support level will break or not. The second tips I will be walking you through, which is the second one, is how to trade using support and resistance zone, and the third one is how to trade the breakout of the support level or the resistance level. Over the time, I found out that when there is a maybe a massive breakout of resistance or support, new traders intend to jump in to trade in the direction of the breakout, and most time, they always get stopped at by the market makers, because that is another trap to trap traders, and which a lot of traders don't know. But after watching this video, you will be able to identify and you will be able to know if this support will hold or not. So without wasting much of our time, let me get this out of here. Since you've known the concept which we are going to, let me get this out of here and go. The number one on how to identify if a support zone will hold or not is what I have here. Is that, let's start from this example. For example, now we have a major wall. We have a major wall. You can attest that if this particular wall now, this guy with this hammer now, has been hitting this particular wall for over and over and over and over and over. He kept on hitting this particular wall. You can best believe that with time, over the time, if this guy continue hitting this particular wall, if you continue hitting this particular wall, definitely this particular wall is going to break. You believe that this particular wall is going to break. Same as to support and resistance zone. Also, let's assume that we have a very clear resistance level here. Let's say this is a very clear resistance level here, and we have also a support here, and we have a market. We have let's for example, we have a market that has been coming all the way from down, moving up, moving up, and this is a major resistance zone. And for some reason, the market kept on testing this particular zone. Whenever the market gets its pullback, whenever it gets its pullback, it kept on testing this particular zone. As a trader, what this tells me is that for this market to have been testing this particular zone and for a period of long time, that means I will be watching out for the break of this particular resistance zone. What this tells me that is that at any given point in time, the buyers are willing to buy at high prices. They are willing to buy. So whenever I spot this pattern, this particular price action heading to resistance zone, all I wait for is for the break of this particular zone here. Also, see an example of a, let's say for example, the market is coming like this. We have a price action that is just coming like this, and boom, we head over to resistance. Whenever I spot this particular price action, what comes to my mind is that from here, where the price picked up from, the seller are not willing to sell. Unlike the first one, which we saw that when the price is going up, making a higher high, higher low, higher high to a particular resistance, that tells you that both the sellers and the buyers are struggling. The sellers are willing to sell, the buyers are willing to buy. But this tells me that the sellers are not willing to sell. They are just waiting for this particular zone for them to go short. Once I spot this particular price action into a resistance zone, what comes to my mind is to sell. You get it? Because now all the whole sellers are just waiting. They are waiting to go short. So again, see what I consider here. In this chart here, you can see what I consider what I said a power move to a support zone or to a resistance zone. In case if you open your chart, first thing you have to check out, where is the direction of the trend? Is it up or down? If the market is coming down, watch the particular force in which the market take to that particular direction. And if it's going up, watch the particular force the market move. Like if we have a support zone somewhere here, like this red bar here, and we have a power move down, we have a force that move, that tells me that just like the example I highlighted before, this tells me that, hey, the buyers are not willing to buy. They are just waiting for this particular zone to go long. You see, this is why I consider a power move to a support. Similar, flip it upside, flip it to the other side, and you will see that they are also a power move to a resistance zone. Once I spot this kind of price action, what will always come to my mind is to buy. Because I know that definitely once I spot this kind of price action, the market must surely go up. So this is what I consider a power move to a support zone or to a resistance zone. So I will walk you through one or two more examples before I will definitely now move over to my chart to show you an idea of what I'm saying. So again, this is another tip you need to watch out for. This is a support zone, this is a resistance zone, this is a resistance zone, this is a support zone. So now, if the market is moving look at the way the market is moving. This is a clear textbook example of how the market is moving. But in the real chart, you may not always find it so juicy like this. But I will still be showing you example on how you can be able to spot this particular pattern on your charts, so that you'll be able to know if a support will break or not, if a resistance will break or not. Look at when you spot this kind of price action coming into a resistance zone, be very careful, because a lot of traders, they've heard that you always buy, you always sell when the market is at resistance zone. You always sell when the market is at resistance zone. I have no problem with that. You can always sell when the market is at resistance zone. But what you have to look at for is the price action to the resistance zone. The price action to the resistance zone is what will tell you if this resistance will hold or not. Don't just assume, don't just have this mindset. That has happened to me severally before I learned my lesson in a very bitter way. Don't just assume that the market will sold off immediately will get to resistance zone. No, that is not truth. It is never truth. What you have to watch out for as a trader, you need to be versatile. You don't need to be stereotyped in a particular thinking. You need to be versatile when it comes to trading. Whatever the price action is given to you, if, for example, I open my chart and I find this kind of particular price action, it shouldn't be coming to my mind to sell. Because let's for example now, if I want to sell, I will first ask myself, where will opposition comes in? Where will I face opposition? Let's assume I spot this kind of price action. Where will I put my stop loss? Where will I put my TP? Best believe I will put my stop loss. If I sell, I'll put my stop loss. And where will the opposition comes in? The next opposition I'll be seeing is this place here, this zone here. This zone, because market may just pull down again and continue going up to create another higher high. You get the point? Because market can, this is another swing high that can prevent the market from going down. Because what this particular price action tells you, that the buyers are willing to buy at any given time. They are willing. Unlike this particular price action, let's for example now I open my chart. On this, I will still show you guys everything, because I took similar trade like this last week. If you watch my previous video, which is my first video on my YouTube channel, you will see the trade I caught. I caught two trades. One hit my TP and one did not play out, and I didn't enter. But the one that hit my TP, I entered, and I will still show you what I mean by this kind of price action. So let's assume I open my chart now and I see this kind of movement. I spot this kind of movement on my chart. Yes, in this case, I will be looking to sell, because now if I'm selling here, at least I will have a good risk to reward ratio, because me, I like going from 1:3, 1:2, anything from 1:3, 1:2. I will first ask myself, where will I find any opposition? Best believe that I may find opposition here or here. So if I'm going short from here, at least from here to here, at least will give me, at least if not 1:2, or one is to at least I will have 1:2 here at least. But for me to sell in this particular price action, no, that is totally wrong, because the force of the market is telling me that hey, the buyers are willing to buy at any given price. So best believe, without wasting much of our time, let's just head into the my charts, which some of the trade which I took last week. Last week. Let's just head in and let me show you guys some of the trade which I took. Okay. All right. These are some of the trade which I took. Let me go over to the one I took. Okay, not this one. Not this one. Okay, yes, this is the, if you watch my previous video, you will understand when I call this trade. I call this trade all the way from here. I called it all the way from here. And this is the kind of price action I told you early, that whenever you spot this kind of price action here, you see the way the market moved. You see the way the market moved. I spotted this kind of pattern. I spotted it from the moment the price wants to break out, because I entered a little bit early here. If you watch it, I said I entered early, and I hope that the trade will play out in my favor. Look at the way the market moved. This is H4, and the market kept on moving until we get to this particular zone here. And the moment we get to this particular zone, in the Discord group where I am, I also told the people there that I will not be interested in this way to keep on selling after this 100% retracement level, because normally the way I trade, I always take out my first my first target is always here. I always close 50% of my trade and leave 50% to run. But when I spotted this particular action here, I will also show you guys my test that I send over to them there. I said I will not be interested in to keep holding my trade here because of this particular price action that I spot here. I close everything. But look at the way the market moved all the way from here. It moved without any opposition. And the moment the market get to this particular zone, what this is telling me is that the seller are not willing. They are just eyeing this particular zone, and a lot of profit taking happened here. A lot of TP was taken out here because this was a major zone that a lot of trader was eyeing. So I know for a fact, for a sure, that this particular zone will not break for now. It must surely come back to retest. Either to retest this particular zone here, either to retest this particular zone here and start heading higher. A lot of traders also were caught in this particular, when the market make this particular week to the upside, they thought that, hey, the minor resistance has been broken. Let us go buy. Let's buy. I don't have problem in that. But where will you put your stop loss? Because the market has not given you a clear direction of where the market wants to head to. And if again you are able to know this kind of price action whenever the market is coming to a particular zone like this, you will be able to tell that this is what market wants to do next. Okay, let me show you in other trade how you can be able to spot this kind of price action which I'm talking about. I have it in a okay. Now let's go over to this is Euro JPY. Look at you can look at the kind of look when we have this double top here, which I also call the M pattern. Look at how the market just bleed all the way down to this particular zone here. Once I spot this particular zone here, and I know for a fact this particular zone is a support zone. If I draw this thing as is with my rectangle, you will see that this thing is a support zone. I know for a fact that the market is going to head higher without the atom of doubt, because that tells me that buyers are not willing to buy. They were just eyeing this particular zone. Look at what still happened when the market pulled off from here. It pulled up with a strong momentum to a resistance zone. And the same force he used in pulling to the resistance zone the same force the market used to collapse down to a support zone. So once I spot this kind of price action, I know for a fact that this market wants to start heading higher back. And look at when the market starts making higher high, higher low, higher high, keep on pushing up, keep on pushing up. Look at the kind of price action the market gave us here. Unlike this particular one, when the market just bleed down. But this one, the market was just making higher high, higher low. It was a step price action moving in a very step way that you will be able to understand that the presence of the buyers are fully in the market. So once the market got here, it break out and come back. It still went up again. This my trend line was supporting the market. Once the market gets here, it still go back. Now I'm having this mindset because on my monthly time frame, I know that this market is still bullish, but with this formation, I'm not convinced yet what the market wants to do. So what I will have to do is to stay clear, to watch what the market will do next. Because when the market got here, it just give us this particular formation and bleed down, because the market went up with force. But when the market move in a very price action that will show you that this market is in a clear uptrend. Look at when the market even formed the M pattern. It couldn't come and complete it. It couldn't even break through this neckline. It came down to the neckline and bleed and push up again. You get the point now. So now let's go back to our previous example. Let me go and show you how you can be able to trade. How to trade when how do you know? How do you know when to enter a trade? If resistance or support level breaks, to me, if I want to enter a trade, if let's for example now, I am seeing that the market is at major resistance zone or major support zone. If I want to enter a trade, this is my resistance zone, for example now, and this is my support zone. Let's assume that the market is coming with a higher high and a higher low, a higher high and a higher low, a higher high and a higher low, a higher high and a higher low to a resistance zone. That is not to say that the resistance must break, because nothing is 100% in this scale. Anything you see on your chart will trade probabilities. It is not to say, well, 100% that this particular resistance will break because of this step price action that is coming. But 80% of the time, I have noticed that once I spot this kind of pattern going into a resistance zone, for a fact and for sure, 80% of the time, the market will always break the resistance zone. So how do you trade this particular setup now? Sometimes a lot of traders will be waiting for a resistance zone to be broken and retest so that they will continue in their way. But most time the market will not always give you this particular setup now. Like the trade I entered, if I have not entered early, I wouldn't have another chance to enter the trade. So the market will not always give you this kind of pattern, and this is where your trading techniques comes in. This is where you have to implies the meanings of candlestick patterns, because it is only candlestick now that will tells you that this market will not pull back to this particular zone here. So what I normally use in this particular trading, if I want to trade the breakout of a resistance zone and with this kind of price action pattern, what I do is that I wait for what they call the mother and baby candlestick. You see, the mother and baby candlestick will help you a lot. Let's assume that this is a candlestick that is forming, and we have let's assume that this is the first bullish candlestick that forms, and we have a very small tiny one that okay, just bear with me. Just bear with me. This is a clear formation of mother and baby, the inside bar candlestick. This is how I trade the inside bar candlestick. If I've spotted this kind of candlestick pattern on my, or as this resistance level break out, I spot this kind of candlestick pattern. What I will be waiting for is the close of this particular, the close of the first candlestick. Once this particular once another candle close above this particular first mother candlestick, I will go long, because I know that what this pattern is telling me is that the price will not have the ability to push down back to the resistance zone, which will now turn to support. So what I do is that once I spot this kind of patterns, I go long, and my stop loss will be below here or here. So let's see a textbook example of this particular pattern, which I'm showing you. This is a clear textbook example of it. Let's look for it. Okay, this is a textbook example of the inside bar candlestick pattern. You see now, you see your entry should be here, and your stop loss should be somewhere below the baby, because consider this candlestick the mother and baby, the inside bar. So your stop loss will be somewhere here. You see the size of the mother candle. It should be large. It should be larger. And this particular candlestick now implies that the ones that break the particular resistance zone, then the next candle should be smaller. The next candle, meaning that at some point in time, the trader try to push the market back to that particular resistance zone, but they failed and closed halfway. The momentum to push the market down was not there again. So now the bulls now take over and close. Once you spot that another candlestick has closed above the mother of the candlestick, enter for buy, because that is a clear example that this market will no longer pull back to the support zone again. I hope you get that. And this was the message I sent to my people in the Telegram chat there. You can see my name here. You can see my name. I say yes. Oh, me, I don't opt out for now, because that kind of momentum where him carry hits first TP, I no understand. So make I observe first. Then that was what I told them. I told them exactly this thing, because that trade, once I spot that kind of movement to my resistance zone, I know that this market wants to pull back. This market wants to pull back. So this is another clear example of the inside bar candlestick pattern, which you can also leverage on. You see, this is a clear example of this inside bar. You see mother candle, inside candle. You see, they call this one the baby. Once you spot it at the break of a resistance, it can also happen to the other side at the break of support zone. It can also happen there. Whichever way it happened, just wait for this kind of candlestick pattern to form, because not all the time the market will always break out and pull back. And because there's also this trade which I'm waiting for, Euro USD. I'm waiting for a pullback, but the market may not give me that juicy pullback like someone like the textbook example. You see, they will tell you once the support break, you should look for a retest of a support zone, something like this. They always tell you once it break out like this, always wait for a retest and something like this. This is a clear textbook example of the market. But best believe, 80% of the time, market will not always do this. Best believe, 80% of the time. But as a pure price action trader who is sounding technical, we need to be able to know. And if you understand the what candlestick are telling you, once you spot this kind of pattern, if the market pull back to that particular resistance zone, fine. But if it did not pull back, just watch for a candlestick formation to just give you a clear direction of where the market wants to go. So that is it, guys. That is it. I hope this video helped you to understand how you can be able to spot a trade, how you can be able to spot support and resistance if they want to break or not. So if you find this video helpful, please also give me a like. I will also appreciate that. And if you also don't like it, also please give me a dislike. but tell me in the comment box below what to do to improve in my next video. As you all know, no one is island, nobody knows it all. We are here, we are all here to learn. You learn from me, I learn from you. Please do subscribe to my channel, help my channel grow. Until then, I will see you in my next video. I will be dropping my next video by Saturday again.